Working in the morgue on New Year's Eve was an eerie experience, especially with the unsettling occurrences that transpired. It was a cold winter evening, snowflakes gently falling outside. Alone in the room, I could sense the distant cheer of New Year's festivities while trying to focus on my work. I was preparing the body of a child when I first felt a slight tug on my hair. Then, a faint giggle and the slam of a door shattered the silence. It felt as though the electricity had gone out. The tools ceased to operate, enveloping the room in an eerie stillness. In the darkness, as I continued dressing the body, another touch grazed my shoulder, and a warmth spread across my back. I closed my eyes, grappling with the presence that wrapped its arms around me. These arms felt detached from the child's body, an uncanny sensation. With trembling hands in the dark, I couldn't see anything except for the lingering touch of the entity. I wanted to scream, but it felt lodged in my throat. The silence in the room morphed into a chilling anticipation. Suddenly, the lights flickered back on, the tools resumed their operation, and the warmth dissipated. When I opened my eyes, the room was empty, devoid of any trace. Only snowflakes danced lightly outside the window as we ushered in the new year, yet the shiver within me remained. New Year's Eve, usually a jubilant affair, would forever be remembered by me as a haunting and unforgettable experience.
It was New Year's Eve of 2023, with my family away for the night. I was going to enter the new year alone, a first for me initially. I tried inviting a few friends over, but all of them had plans for the night, leaving me to welcome the new year solo. It was around 9, and a special movie for the occasion caught my eye on TV. I decided to watch it. About 15 to 20 minutes into the film, a peculiar tapping noise from upstairs startled me. Initially unfazed, I increased the TV's volume slightly and continued watching. Half an hour passed, and a pang of hunger hit me, prompting me to pause the movie and head to the kitchen. However, something felt off. The house echoed with an unsettling and escalating series of clicks and clatters that sent shivers down my spine. Fear crept in as the noises intensified. Rushing back to the living room, I called a friend who lived nearby, narrating the bizarre occurrences and asking them to come over immediately soon. A knock at the door, it was the friend I had called. I got so engrossed that an hour flew by. My friend had to leave, offering their place if I felt scared. I didn't want to ruin anyone else's New Year's Eve over a few strange noises, so I insisted I was fine and bid them goodbye. It wasn't even midnight yet, but I wanted to sleep. I hurried to bed, trying to dismiss my thoughts, and eventually dozed off around 2 to 3 a.m. I woke up feeling thirsty. I went to the kitchen for water and returned to bed, wanting to check the time on my phone. I realized I had left it in the living room. Rushing there, I switched on the light, but what I saw left me horrified. The table in the middle of the room was upturned. The decorative flowers we had on the console viciously torn apart, so scattered all round. Pillows lay strewn on the floor, and almost all the glasses on the display cabinet were shattered. Shards of glass littering the area. I was frozen, experiencing a mini shock. I gathered myself, grabbed my phone and keys, and left the house immediately, heading straight to my neighbor's. I explained everything in detail to my neighbor, and we promptly called my family the next day around noon. They arrived in the city where I was staying, accompanied by the police. They picked me up from the neighbors and we went back home together. On the way, I recounted the events to the police. They searched the house for fingerprints or any clues, but found nothing. The assumption was a possible break-in, and they promised to return in a few days. However, days passed, and we never heard back from them.